Hey, hello everyone, hello there. And today we are going to see something that I think it's cool because we've been talking a lot about MCPs, MCP servers, how we can use MCP with GitHub Copilot in Visual Studio and Visual Studio Code. But today I want to pick up one super cool server that we have, which is the Hugging Face. We have a tool to generate images. And hey, how about if we do this, but directly from C# in a console application, and later we have a bigger application, which is a full generated app that is going to generate images. So, hey, this is the idea for today. Let's do some coding. I'm going to spend some time coding and let's go for it. And as usual, I appreciate the likes, subscribes, and more. Okay, so I use Visual Studio Code or Visual Studio with GitHub Copilot to test these MCP servers. And if I want to take a look at the Hugging Face one, what I do is I go to code, visualstudio.com/MCP, and somewhere here we have the Hugging Face server. This is very simple to just open you can copy the URL or you can even go to the details, and this is the full JSON definition of the server. I already have this in my MCP JSON here, somewhere here. Let's fix this. We have here the MCP server. So there it is. It's already running. And I like because one of the tools allows us to generate image. Let's give it a try. So I am going to ask the GitHub Copilot to use the tools. I already have the tool configured to use a generate image of a beaver. And by the way, if you go here and you select Hugging Face, somewhere here I have the server with all of the tools selected. So I have everything here. Let's generate an image. So we have the security warning here to run the Hugging Face Flux One model. So let's continue. We are going to give it a try some time because this takes some time. And after a couple of seconds, we are going to have the image here. So we have it there. Let me close this and this. And hey, this is a pixelated beaver, which is kind of nice and cute and more. We can use this. So next step, let's code to do the same, but in C#. Okay, so now let's go and write some C# code. First of all, we need a token. So if you go to your Hugging Face profile, you will find here in the access token that, hey, this is the magic, everything happened here, and this is super cool. Once you have your token, what I have here is basically an empty C# console application with a couple of, I already added some reference, some packages, extensions AI. I have already also the AI inference and the MCP C# SDK, which is basically going to do everything that we need. And I add semantic kernel because I may add something cool at the end. Let's see how it goes. When we have this, the whole idea is that I have here a very small piece of code where at the bottom I have a neat chat client that is going to create a client using default GitHub tokens. GitHub is going to use GitHub models. By default, we use GPT-4.1 mini. And if not, you can use your Azure OpenAI. By the way, the full sample is in the generative AI .NET course. You can check the resources and the links and more, but everything is here. So once we have this, we can start to work. So at the beginning, we initialize, we create the builder, we ask the configuration, we ask the deploy name. So the first thing that we need to do is basically to create the MCP client. So what I am going to do, and let's copy and paste so we go fast here. What I am going to do is literally write 10 lines of code to, first of all, define the MCP server that we are going to use. So I am going to add a header with the authorization and the access token using Bearer, as you see here. Then I'm going to create a client transport. In this case, it's going to be SSE. Remember, there are different type of servers that we can use in MCP, STDIO and more. This is SSE. And we have the Hugging Face URL, the headers, and then we create the client, which is cool and good enough. If you want to get these values or more, this is all came from the JSON that we see in the Hugging Face page. So when we have this, what we are going to do next, it's super simple, super fast. Let's display the tools that we have in that server. So what I am going to do now, I am going to basically write, again, a couple of lines of code to get the list of tools of the MCP server and iterate in the tools and show the tools. So with this, I think we are fine. So let's build this super fast. I already set the user secrets, and let's give it a try to see the tools. Of course, it's going to open the console in another window, but hey, there it is. We have all of the tools, and one of these, the Flux one, the Flux Snell, is the one to generate images. Super cool. And hey, we have the tools, so now let's add some code to generate the image. So again, let's copy and paste because this is literally 10 lines of code. I am going to create the client, the chat client, which is the easy part because we have this amazing client that use this. And the important one here is that I'm going to also use chat options where I'm going to set the MCP tools that we have from the MCP server as part of the tools that the model is going to use. Important here, when we create the chat client, we need to enable the function invocation in both. So this is the GitHub models option. And when we build the chat client, we say, okay, use function invocation, the same if we are using Azure OpenAI. So with this, we can start to use the tools. And the next step is very simple. Let's create an image. And to create an image, let's hard code this. I am going to start the process to generate an image of a pixelated puppy. My query will be create an image of pixelated puppy. And I don't need a stream builder here. Sorry about this. What I am going to do is I'm going to run this with the client directly using the options and, of course, the tools. And we are going to have a result with probably an URL. So I have my tools here. Let's press enter. It's generating the image. There it is. And if I control click this, oh, we have here a super cute puppy, a pixelated puppy. Let's do some Canadian one. Let's Canadian a beaver. And let's run this again. Of course, yes, thanks. Copilot. I am going to also update the console right line. Hey, next edit suggestion are super, super cool. So let's run this and wait a couple of seconds. There it is. There it is, a pixelated beaver. It's kind of nice and cool and more. And by the way, at any time, you can go to your Hugging Face account. By the way, this is the access token, and you can take a look at your usage. I can't remember where, but I think in your profile, somewhere here. I think in your profile, somewhere here, you can take a look at your zero CPU, inference users, private storage, and more that you have depending on your plan. So, hey, super cool. Literally 50 lines of code. You can do a lot of stuff with this. And that's also very simple, and it's a nice piece of code to write. Hey, I hope you like it. That was a cool one. That was an easy one. And remember, all of the code is going to be available in the generative AI.net course that we have in GitHub. We have the console there. I think I am going to add the full application during the week, the current week. So if it's not there, give me some time. I'm going to publish the Blazor app to generate images. And hey, give us some feedback. I want to know more about this. If we have any other MCP scenario that you think it makes sense, let me know and I will try to do a quick video like this one to explain it. Okay, thanks very much. See you. Goodbye.